Happy Sip and Sparkle Sunday. Hello, James.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Or since it's Oktoberfest weekend as we're filming this, prosit.
Prosit, yes, exactly. Although we're drinking coffee.
Yeah, it's a little early for the alcohol.
It's a little early for the alcohol, yes. We're doing an earlier shoot on Sunday. So anyways, so for those of you just joining us, I'm Lisa Hammett. I do a weekly Sip and Sparkle Sunday series, and the purpose is to create awareness for all the awesome resources we have literally at our fingertips, and just to share networks and get to know people in the community. So I have James Jenkins here.
Hello.
And I'm going to turn it over to him, and we'll just kind of go from there.
Okay. Well, hi folks, James Jenkins. I own an insurance brokerage and risk management consulting firm over in Craig Ranch. It's the least interesting name in the entire world, James Jenkins Associates. I really should have thought of something a little more clever for the name of our business.
That's memorable.
Yeah, it's, gosh,
your name.
we moved our business to McKinney about 3 years ago. Actually, October 1st is my 3-year anniversary, come to think of it.
Oh, really?
So yeah.
Happy anniversary.
There you go. And October 1st is... by the time this actually airs, that will be in the past.
Yeah.
So we're in our 4th year of owning a business in McKinney. Awesome. So yeah, we still live in Plano, unfortunately. I don't really advertise that fact. I'm a little ashamed of Plano. If you're from Plano and you're watching this, then I apologize for anyone who's offended. But not really, because I think McKinney's a lot better than Plano.
So when are you going to move to McKinney?
As soon as the finances make sense.
Okay.
Which we'll get into here in just a little bit. My wife and I launched a new business back in March, sold one business, launched another one.
Okay.
We have, in the month of September, we hired 2 more full-time people. So cash flow is king in the entrepreneur world.
Absolutely.
One of the things we always teach up-and-coming business owners is, so many people want to talk about gross revenue in the business world, and that's really not an important number. It's all about that cash flow and what's your profit at the end of the month.
Amen.
How are you managing your expenses in the middle? Everybody likes to talk about entrepreneurship like this big glamorous thing, and yeah, it can be, but there's a lot of work to get to that point.
Yes.
I certainly don't feel glamorous yet. Let's put it that way. No, we're still in the trenches.
That's
so
okay. Cheers.
So cheers
yes.
to that.
Cheers to that. Yes. All right.
So where do you want to go? Gosh, see, the problem when you get 2 people that are chatty Cathy is there's really no way of knowing where this conversation is going to go. So I don't really have a particular agenda. I'm not coming in here like pushing some talking points or really anything, which might cause you to click away right now or thumb past this video to like go look at cats on YouTube.
No, don't do that. No. He's way more interesting than a cat on YouTube.
I try to be.
So you are.
It's funny that you say that, because I create quite a bit of content for my own stuff on social media and whatnot. And one of my rules, I used to teach insurance agents how to do digital marketing, and lead generation. And one of the rules that I used to tell them is you have to be more interesting than a cat video. Cats and babies, I mean, they're really cute and adorable, and puppies too, for that matter. Too. But you got to be more interesting than a puppy video, which for some people is hard.
It is hard.
Some people are very interesting. No. So I try to be more interesting than a cat video. It's one of my goals in life.
All right. And you're in a very serious business, too. So
it's really boring if you let it be. Let's be honest.
Yes.
Insurance isn't exactly the most exciting thing to talk about.
It's not. So let's just get this out of the way first, though, because there probably are viewers out there who might be looking for an agent, and they're gravitating towards somebody that has a personality.
Yeah.
And so what sets you apart from other agents?
Well, what sets me apart is that I realized for years that nothing had set me apart. Back in 2015... sorry, let me just step back just a little bit further. We moved to Dallas-Fort Worth from East Texas. My wife and I were living in Nacogdoches. I was in corporate America, just doing the 40-hour-a-week grind thing. And I just got so put off by all the nonsense. I had 3 bosses in a row where I was working harder than them. I cared more than they did. And I'm pretty sure I was a lot smarter than them. And 3 times in a row, I just got really disillusioned and burnt out on the whole corporate thing. I came home from work one day, and my wife says, okay, here's the thing. I love you, but I really don't like you. You're not any fun to be around. You're like a black hole of pathetic negativity. Like, you need to do something, man. You need to do something. And she basically like drop kicked me into entrepreneurship. And God bless her for it. Allison, if you ever watch this, then thank you for that. I'm literally writing a book. It's titled Leaving Captivity, which I was...
good.
And no one's ever written a book titled Leaving Captivity.
Oh my gosh, I know. The title's amazing.
Yeah, and
Love that.
I'm literally in the middle of... the copyright office won't let me copyright it until I deliver them a completed work to issue the copyright. But I looked on Amazon and everywhere else. No one has written a book titled Leaving Captivity.
I love it.
I felt like I was a prisoner in that previous world. And, when people people own a captive agency, whether it's Farmers, Allstate, State Farm, whatever, in the insurance world, they're called a captive agent. So I was kind of playing off of those two little word things for leaving captivity. So if you get ahead of me and you finish your work before I do and you copyright leaving captivity, then I will find you.
And hunt you down.
Yeah. So we looked at all the opportunities and we settled on insurance. I never intended to be an insurance agent. I promise you that. I don't think any little boys or little girls when they're growing up goes, I want to be an insurance agent when I grow up. Pretty sure that doesn't happen.
I don't think that ever happens.
So,
no.
Yeah, but I found at that time it was a great opportunity with representing Farmers Insurance and opened an agency. Looking back on it now, I think it's total insanity. Let's be honest. We moved from East Texas to Dallas. We had $1,200 in the bank. Didn't have any national market. Didn't have a circle of friends. Didn't have any established business. I was launching a scratch agency.
Wow.
Looking back on it now, I'm just like, dude, what were you thinking? That was insane.
Faith.
Yeah.
Lots of faith.
We prayed about it a lot.
Yes.
And, my worldview is, biblical Christianity and all of that stuff. And that's how we process, that's how we make decisions as a family. And we felt like that was what we were supposed to do. And looking back on it now, obviously I'm glad we did it because we're here.
Right.
But totally insane.
Yeah.
Knowing what I know now, would I do it again? Honestly, I probably wouldn't. The way that I did it. I would have done it a different way.
Okay.
That being said, we had a farmers agency for 6.5 years and just became increasingly bored with it. Farmers wants to be a home and auto and term life company. And for all of you who have ever shopped for home or auto insurance, you know how much of a beating that is.
Yeah.
It's, what a experience. Like, I'm in the insurance world and I'm just like the idea of shopping in the open market. Because, gosh, it's just not any fun at all. And everybody sounds the same. All the policies look the same from the consumer's perspective. And it's just really hard. You asked me, this is like 5 minutes ago, you asked me what makes me different. At that point, nothing made me different. I looked just like everybody else. I was a copy and paste insurance agent. And I just realized if I'm bored and I'm the one who's doing this, my customers and clients are bored, my referral partners are bored, the marketplace is bored with me. I don't deliver anything unique. And that was 2015. Oh,
wow, okay.
And then we started, this was before we were in McKinney, and we realized, my wife and I, we needed to do something different. And I picked McKinney on a map. Like, I sat there with the map of DFW. It was like, where are we going to move our business? What is the best place that we can be for opportunity, for growth, for the culture of a city, for the local business community? Where's a great chamber of commerce? Where do we want to be? And we picked McKinney. And golly, I'm really glad we picked McKinney. I was officing in Addison at the time. Addison's great.
Yeah.
But it's not somewhere I want to be long term. It's not somewhere we want to invest a brick and mortar business, not somewhere we want to buy a house and grow our family. So it's what makes us different now is let's time for some more sip. I need to be more sparkly. I don't think I'm sparkly enough.
Okay.
So
all right, well, here.
Can I have one of those?
Yes, you can.
That's great. Thank you.
We'll give you some sparkles.
Now, is this eSBe?
It is eSBe.
Okay,
yes.
cool.
Okay.
All right, thank you. I need some
Nice.
sparkle in my life.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's your Mardi Gras.
It's green. Allison likes green, so I might have to buy some stuff and bring it to her.
Okay, well, there you go.
So we sold the farmers agency,
Yes.
and that was just a nightmare of a thing. Selling an insurance agency is even less fun than buying an insurance policy.
I'm sure.
It literally took like 8 months from start to finish.
Oh, wow.
And in the meantime, I can't really sell anything because I'm in the middle of selling this agency. So nobody wants to become a client of a guy who's in the middle of selling a business. So we opened a fully independent insurance brokerage and shifted our focus a little bit to, well, not a little bit, completely shifted our focus away from being that generalist who does everything.
Okay.
Really, I love working with other business owners. If you are, even if it's just out of your house, like you've got a thriving business here and we're in your garage right now, in your studio that you've created, and I'm seeing shelves full of like inventory and stuff.
Right.
Like, I just love working with other business owners.
Yeah.
You think differently than the general public. You make decisions differently. You value relationship and advice and like that professional service, because so many people make their living talking to people and selling stuff. So it just made sense. Our focus now with the new agency is business owners and real estate investors. We still do all the personal stuff, the home and auto and all of that, but it's off to the side. It's not the focus. We're going after the business owner to meet their needs. And then it's like oh, by the way, we can take care of your personal insurance too. Yeah. But it's
nice add-on.
Yeah. I mean, it's really why don't you just consolidate? You have 3 or 4 different agents right now. Wouldn't you rather have one agent instead of 3 or 4? That's
who's local.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Who has a personality.
Yeah. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword.
Who of your insurance agents would wear a beautiful bling? I mean, come on.
I mean, I don't really have to say anything about that. So.
Oh my gosh. So before I forget, how do people get a hold of you?
We are in Craig Ranch. If you want to come by, I'd love to see you in person. So many people don't do business in person anymore. I understand your time is valuable, so we may not ever see you. But we are just off of Custer Road on Colin McKinney. If you're driving to Craig Ranch Golf Course from Custer, you'll literally drive right past my office. We're also really easy to find on the web. It's just JJA like Apple, IRM like Mary.com. It's like this compressed acronym for James Jenkins Associates Insurance and Risk Management.
Nice.
I was going to make that the URL, but gosh, people would just get carpal tunnel typing out the address for my website.
Yeah.
So we just made it an acronym instead.
Okay.
And then obviously people like to make phone calls and whatnot. So our phone number is 469-678-8001. And maybe you can have your editing guy like put it across the bottom of the screen with like flashy stuff.
Oh, I think Tyler can do that.
Cool. All right.
Do that for you.
So yeah, that's really it. We try to be extremely easy to find online. If you Google us or Google those keywords that are, and we're pretty easy to find. So
fantastic.
Yeah.
So James is a fellow class of 2020 Leadership McKinney.
Represent
classmate.
2020.
Yes. 2020.
Yeah.
Best class ever.
We're so obnoxious.
I know, we are so obnoxious.
This is where all the other classes roll their eyes.
I know. They're like, no, that's not true. It's like, yes, it is. We're way better. So clearly way better. I mean, come on. No, seriously. What drove you to apply for Leadership McKinney?
I don't mean to be cliche, but it's just what you do. Like if you are someone who has aspirations to do big things with the city, with engaging, whether it's in the nonprofit sector or in a public sector, maybe you work for McKinney, City of McKinney. Maybe you are employed by a large employer like a Raytheon or an independent financial or whatnot. For me, as a local independent business owner, and I've got aspirations. I want to serve on boards and commissions at some point in the future. I'd like to serve in elected office at some point down the road. And you take a look at the people that are doing cool things in McKinney, the people that are in those positions of great impact, where they have the ability to really move the needle for our community, for the citizens, for people that are perhaps less privileged, that have less opportunity because of whatever situation they happen to be in, or the people that are, killing it and just taking names and like doing cool things in their business, whether it's a doctor's office or an accounting firm or a restaurant, like our friend Joy Booth, who's also in our class. Like Joy and Greg, like they're just killing it.
They are. They're all over the city. They're so philanthropic.
Yeah.
They're a part of everything. They're amazing.
I can't think of a better way to be better, to become a better citizen, a better entrepreneur, better all the way around, better husband, better father, whatever, than to be around people that are at the top of their game. I think it's probably the most attractive thing about leadership is where else in the entire scope of the life that we all live here in McKinney, you can have the opportunity to surround yourself with 29 other people that are just, for lack of a better word, they're just killing it in their vertical, in the nonprofit space, in the public space, in the small business, in the medium business, in the big business. We've got a couple of bankers, a couple of people that run for elected office. We've got several people from the nonprofit sector, McKinney Police Department, City of McKinney, and just a lot of different business people, each one of them delivering something unique and valuable that I would never have the opportunity to have shared experiences.
No.
I mean, Deb and her team at the Chamber have just done a phenomenal job creating a program that, for people like us, it really is irresistible.
Agreed. And what I like about it so much as well, I've, like you, was a slave to corporate America for years and was in corporate retailing, went through a lot of leadership classes and training, and had some positives. Like I went through Franklin Covey training when it was Kinko's way back in the day. So that was positive. But a lot of the leadership training was like, whatever. And this I really feel is high quality. And to your point, it applies to all aspects of your life. It's not just in the work environment. I mean, it's personally, it's, professionally, it's just interacting with people in the community. I mean, didn't need to make this all about Leadership McKinney, but
we can make it about leadership.
Well, I guess I'm
drinking the Kool-Aid hard.
It's great. Yeah. So if you have toyed with the idea, Lauren Palmer, of, I know she hasn't done leadership.
Bob Roden.
Yeah, right. But seriously, if you have just fleetingly thought about doing leadership, you have to do it. It
Yeah.
is, I mean, we're hardly into the year, and
Yeah.
it is just blown my mind so far. It's
Yeah.
been amazing. So, okay, so changing gears, probably to kind of wrap things up. What is something that people who know you, and maybe for viewers who don't, that is unique to you, that is kind of fun, maybe out of the box? It could be a place that you traveled, it could be a hobby, just something unique to you that may make our viewers remember you. It's like, oh yeah,
Gosh,
he's that guy.
I wish I'd have had this question ahead of time. I would have thought of something a little bit more interesting. I was a professional photographer for 6 years.
Oh, really?
I shot weddings and other
Really?
stuff.
I can
And,
see that.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's still a hobby. I like it on the side. I don't do it professionally anymore. But in my line of work, there's not really that much right brain sort of work. You know, that
Right.
artsy, creative stuff. I don't really get to do that much of it. So it's really nice to have that outlet. You know, I don't when I have a camera in my hands, it's really refreshing. It's grounding. So it's something I look forward to doing in the future. And you know, when I have more time, like right now, we're just in aggressive growth.
Yeah, which
You
is
know,
amazing.
so,
Yeah,
yeah.
y'all are rocking it.
It's one day at a time, and my wife and I had a baby. Our
Yes.
second little girl, she's
Adorable.
amazing.
So cute.
Yeah, about 2 months ago, and so that's obviously a huge part of what I'm up to right
Yes.
now. So the whole balancing, and you know, just to go existential for just a second, I think probably one of the coolest things that I ever realized that maybe our viewers, maybe you already have, and you're ahead of me, maybe it really hasn't clicked yet, is we all have the same 168 hours. Time and how we spend our time truly is the great equalizer. From the President of the United States all the way down to the guy who takes out the trash.
Yep.
Every single one of us has the same 168 hours on a weekly basis. And how we choose to spend our time, where we deploy our time, our talents, and our resources, that's what makes us who we are.
Oh, wow.
And that really is the only equalizer. Because where you live, your socioeconomic status, your demographic, your race, your ethnicity, your gender, all of these things are all over the map.
Right.
At the end of the day, the only thing that unites us 100% is how we choose to spend our time.
Interesting.
If you think about it,
Yeah, it's true.
that is a universally
It's true.
applicable thing across every demographic.
You got me
So,
thinking now.
I mean, that's when I realized that, I started changing some things and reprioritizing some things and kicked a bunch of stuff off of my plate, if I can be candid with you.
Yeah.
And it really changes how you make choices once that really sinks in and you realize, you know, once this moment, I mean, for the moments that we spent at the beginning of this video, they're gone forever.
Right.
They're never coming back.
Right.
And it really changes how you choose to spend your time and what is worth your time.
Yes. Quality.
One of the things, it was Rita Contreras. Rita, and she said this, and I just reinforced it all over again. She said, when you say no to something, it increases the value of your yes.
Oh, I love that.
And I mean, I just took that and
That's
ran with
so
it in my head.
true.
When you say no to something, it increases the value of your yes.
Wow.
I say no to a ton of stuff now
Yeah.
that just a couple of years ago I would have said yes to.
Right.
Even if it's good. You know, John Maxwell, the leadership guy, he says, the bad stuff is not the most dangerous enemy of the best in your life. It's the good stuff. Good is the enemy of best. Because good can be a counterfeit for best. Bad stuff, worthless stuff, it's easy to recognize, that's not worth my time, or I don't need to spend it. But the good stuff, that's what's dangerous, because it can take you away from the best stuff.
Wow. Yeah, that's so true.
So, I didn't mean to get all existential.
No, I
here,
love
sorry.
that. I think that's a great closing comment, and it'll give some food for thought to our viewers. So
Thanks for having me.
I love this. This was awesome. So until next Sunday, may you sip and sparkle. Have a good week. Bye.